doesn't fit.
Well, it's because it's mine.
I look like a trucker.
And it's me.
Wear it like this. This is how the cool kids wear it. That's how Thomas wears his hat.
That's like what you do when you... Look how pretty the sunset is. Okay, so you're going to have a spin the night, right?
Oh, I haven't. I think so.
Were you invited? You just said that because you don't want to clean up the kitchen. Come on, you come in here and help me.
True.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
You lie, and I know it. Come on. Seriously, get in here.
I'm going to feed the cat.
What? Gonna feed the cats. My people have a real way of avoiding work. My new hat. My followers sent me. I like this. I'm trying to practice for things that we might have for the big weekend. So it is the Wednesday before school starts. Teachers are back at school, and this is big excitement. Almost as much excitement as the fact that the dog just found and hurt my tooth pillow. Did anybody have a tooth pillow growing up? I did. And it lasted 48 years until the dog pulled the part with the tooth. Love your new hat. Oh, thanks. So I made dinner tonight, which for some people is not a big deal. It is a big deal for this family because it is. We had broccoli, steamed broccoli, mashed potatoes, steak. Blair made mac and cheese, and Caesar salad from the bag. And the mashed potatoes, I'll tell you my trick. Well, this was the mac and cheese. Let me just dig into trash a minute. Where is my container? Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, no, that's the steak. Anyway, it's the mashed potatoes you get that are already done, and then you add milk and butter to them and do cheese at the end. They're really good. But my family has a way of disappearing, and now they're going to be all these Judgy McJudgersons that are like, your kids should, oh my God, it's a freaking fingernail on the table. Your kids should be cleaning up. Well, they're sneaky. And if you think I want to chase their little butts around, I don't. They have gone to play tennis, a few of them have gone to play tennis, which, you know, is what it is. So I'm left here. I'm just left. I hate cooking. I don't hate cooking. I don't love cooking. I find it is 8 o'clock and I started the cooking process. Well, I went to the grocery store. So that's an hour, right? And then I started the cooking process at 5:45. So if I really hustle right now, I could clean up in the next 10 minutes. So that would be 2.5 hours plus the grocery store. 2.5 hours is, no offense, but that is a long ass time to clean up from dinner. Bob Evans, yes. You know, I just am not... Let me just speak for a second. The point of the dinner is to spend time together, right? When they say families should eat meals together. It's not actually about the meal. It's spending time together is the common denominator. So you could go out to dinner and spend that time together, right? Or you could... now, little Thomas and I grilled. That was fun together. I would rather clean up my kitchen. Your kids need to clean up after dinner. I mean, those fools are gone. So I try to really cook when they're here, but it is a commitment. I mean, it's like a job. So when you hear these women that like work and get home at 5:30, there is no way they could possibly cook dinner. In my house, everyone had a job before, during, and after dinner. Well, that's smart. we love Bob Evans potatoes. Yes, my husband does the cooking. Well, you better watch out because somebody's going to try to steal him. Mine grills. We have friends coming tomorrow, so we're going to go out to dinner, probably to Waterman's or to the Herringbone is this new restaurant in town, and they do a fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club. So tomorrow night from 5:30 to 7, you can go, and Burton and Dawson, who are the owners of the company, will be serving a special drink. And then you can bid on a little outdoor tool house that they did a camp for the Boys and Girls Club. And the Boys and Girls Club children built the building, the little unit, and you can buy it. And all the money goes to the Boys and Girls Club. Isn't that great? So that's tomorrow night. So then we're going to try to eat dinner because we have friends coming. Why do people tell you what to do with your kids? Well, they clearly know I need help. It's bad times. Amos was sick today, or I didn't know he was sick. I thought, welcome to lesson 987,000 of having a child with autism. And it was funny, little Thomas and I were brainstorming his college essays earlier. And one of the essay questions for Carolina is talk about a personality trait and how it has, tell a story about how it served you or how it helps your community. And so we were discussing personality traits of his, ones that I have seen, ones that he saw. And one thing he said is, I can read people's emotions, I think, better than most people because of Amos, of having to know what's happening with him, because he talks, but he doesn't really say like, now he did say this morning when he saw me, he hadn't seen me until this morning, he said, I was so worried about you. But what that means is, boy, Mom, I missed you. I'm glad you're home. So anyway, we were discussing that. And this afternoon, lo and behold, I'm thinking, I kept texting our nanny/caregiver, and I was like, well, how was the medicine? Exactly what did you give him yesterday? Because we've been doing some med changes. And I was convinced. I was like, the medicine has made him groggy. But she was like, no, I've done the same thing 3 days in a row. He hadn't been groggy. And I mean, he was like on the couch, not moving. So finally, Thomas and I talked. I was like, Amos, does anything hurt? And he said, does your throat hurt? I said, your throat hurts. And then, so I called the doctor, and the nurse is like, well, what other symptoms is he having? And I said, well, I don't know. He can't tell me. And she said, okay. But while we were on the phone, I was like, okay, Amos, does your head hurt? And he said, yes. I said, where? He said, right here. So if you know what to ask, he can tell you, but he didn't tell me he was sick, and he's almost 10. And so you really do have to, as Thomas and I were talking about that, I was like, wow, you really do have to be so in tune to him and to his emotions. Anyway, and I know there's a lot of people out there that totally understand what that's like. And it's like you never can be turned off, I remember when my daughter Blair was a newborn, boy, she would cry. And I said to the pediatrician, I had 3 children. They were 3, 1, and this baby. And I said, she cries. I mean, she really screams her head off. Never had a baby that, cried like that. And the pediatrician, Dr. Coleman, Nita Coleman, she's retired now. She said, well, if she didn't, you would probably never feed her because you're so busy. And I was like, that's true. Like these newborns, right? They come out, and the only way to do anything for them is that they're crying. And you're like, oh, I got to change your diaper. I mean, you're on an airplane or out in public and you hear that newborn cry, and like every human, and evidently like apes, like some animals, like our blood pressure all goes up because we're like, help the baby, And it's kind of like that. It just goes on for a long, long, long time. A long time. there's a device to help with language. He could use it. You know, we had they call them augmentative communication device, and we had one, and it was good. What I found was that it was just one more freaking thing to do. And it's like you can't have a sticker book, an Ogcom device, the service dog, the social story. It's just so much. You can't possibly juggle all those things all the time. Medicine. So you kind of reach a point where you're like, you know what? This is what we're focusing on right now. And we might go back to that later. I used to work for Dr. Coleman's husband. Oh, that was nice. So anyway, but today we have an urgent care in Eatonton, which is awesome. Were you in the Glee Club at Salem College? Well, I went to the academy, not the college. And I did get into the Glee Club, but then I quickly dropped out when I realized you had to stand for 2.5 hours at practice. Clearly, I'm real into sitting. So anyway, we went to the urgent care. They were like, come at 5. Heather is awesome. They're so nice in there. And they know Amos. And they're like, Amos, how are you? Do you find sickness and regression? You know, Megan, what I find with sickness is that oftentimes sickness actually helps Amos be he's easier to manage when he's sick. Like one time he had this high fever, and I remember thinking, I don't think he's autistic anymore. He was about 3.5. I mean, it was like he just seemed like a typical toddler. Isn't that interesting? And I remember saying that to maybe our pediatric psychiatrist, and he said he's heard that. Charts with stickers. I mean, telling me to put some stickers on a chart is like saying, hello, Adrian, I would like you to get a steak knife and saw off your toenails and then put them in some mac and cheese and serve it to your family. I mean, I hate a sticker chart. It's just too much. You want to see the man cave. Well, the man cave is not done. The one thing that is done, that Down East Preservation finished. Oh, we got light problems. I'll show you. Is the fireplace. So we did the sky in Eatonton. Todd Watson did brickwork. It was like marble before. And then we have this old mantle that Down East Preservation cut and did to fit at our house. And it's from a house in Hertford. So there you have it. And next week, Tar Heel Fireplace is coming to get the gas logs fixed up somehow. I don't know how. So there you go. Still cleaning up. Y'all distracted me. Did they use lithium for autism? They might need to use lithium for the mothers of people with autism. No offense to anybody. I do take Zoloft. And I was trying to go down on the dose. I think that's a bad idea. I'm back. Sticker charts give my son anxiety. Show us the view out the window. Well, it be dark, Almanzo. It be dark. I think it was probably so nice to live as an Ingalls because it got dark. You only bathed once a week. And when it got dark, your ass ate some apples and maybe some popcorn. And then you carried up your brick that you'd warmed up in that fireplace and you put it in the end of your bed and you lay there with your sister. And you had a sister because there were like 500 kids, you know? Can I ask if he sleeps well? No. So sleeping is, I basically could have a show called the Tails Not Sleeping Show. The Tails Not Sleeping Show is about, we're now on to this. We have melatonin. We take guanfacine. That helps with ADHD. And then we take, what else do we take? I don't know where, trazodone. Medicine does help A lot. Amos, though, has a sixth sense of wanting to sleep with me. So he wakes up in the night. I take Lexapro. I have two with severe nonverbal. Well, bless you, Shelley. Did Wegovy make you feel hungry until you got on the half? Wegovy made me feel tired. Does any autistic child sleep? I don't know. You know, I thought he did sleep when he was little, but he was in a crib. So evidently he was just awake all the time, but he never cried. Some moms make a chart labeled what hurts. Oh, do you still take Saxenda? Well, I'm about to because I gained 10 pounds this summer. Me and, what's that model's name? Not Claudia Schiffer. Heidi Klum. Heidi Klum is like 5'10" and weighs 137 pounds. I mean, I weigh 170. She weighs 33 pounds less than I do, and she's 6 inches taller. Damn it. God, I'd be so thin. If I were that thin, I'd be walking around all the time, butt ass naked. The neighbors would be like, there she is again. She's just strutting her stuff. She looked good, too. For breakfast, she eats 3 poached eggs in chicken broth. That makes me like want to just puke thinking about it. Poached eggs and chicken broth. To eat that, I would have to be stranded on an island. And you would be like, here, do you want some chicken innards or some lizards, or do you want this? And I'd be like, I guess I'll eat that. Ugh, it's disgusting. Don't send me a message saying you love that and I'm body shaming you or blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I don't want to hear about it. Right now, I'm feeling very, I'm a little calmer today. I'm feeling really anxious about Amos starting 3rd grade. So yesterday, I think I told my subscribers this. Yesterday, I was at AB Surf Shop because I told my son I would get him some overpriced underwear, which is very nice. Free Fly, you know this brand Free Fly? Anyway, they have soft, expensive underwear. Fine. So I go in to get this expensive underwear and a couple AB Surf Shop t-shirts because my daughter wants my 9-year-old Amos to dress like everybody else at school. So what do all the 3rd graders wear? They wear t-shirts or they wear Under Armour sports clothes. And Amos wears like collared shirts and cute yellow shorts and whatever. Well, so Blair is really not into that. So I'm trying to listen to her and be respectful. You should hear what Gwyneth eats. Well, come be a subscriber together. Yes, Jeanette, together. I just put the link up. So anyway, I'm at the surf shop and I'm sitting there talking to talking to myself. Nobody. I'm walking around and this woman kind of smiles at me. And sometimes I'm like, I feel like I told the story. I feel like I know, I bet she follows me, like, because it's an extra nice smile. And then there's this. And that's called the face of, I know who you are and you are doo-doo in my toes from stepping in it in the yard. So anyway, she says, I thought somebody just said sex is also great undies. So I was like, ew. She says, I follow you and I have a daughter with Down syndrome who is 40-ish. So we sat there and talked because that's what moms like us do, right? We talk. And then she says something about Amos is going to do great this year. I know he is. Well, then I basically started crying in the checkout line at Atlantic Beach Surf Shop. I was like, I am such a wuss. What is wrong with me? I'm like an emotional basket case. It's so annoying. It is annoying I am not like a crier by nature. I want to be tough and together. And it is hard to be like, I'm dying here. Anyway. That's why I love school uniforms. You should get paid for ads. I see them here. Well, I don't know how, because Facebook keeps telling me, you don't follow the rules, you're not getting any ads on your live videos. It's like I'm an indentured servant for a lot of people, judging from this kitchen. Okay, I'm going to go clean up this mess. Subscribers will chit chat while I clean up. View, the subscriber group is a fun group. It's smaller, less judgerness, and it's more a conversation. We're sitting there talking. Like, so when Jeanette, if she were a subscriber and she said to me, emotional basket case is going through the change, I would be like, Jeanette, kiss my ASS. I am not going through the change. The change. Oh, it makes me feel like I'm like 90 and wearing those shoes that they sell at the drugstore.